What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Grind Fantasy live stream for this NBA 10-game slate. Cannot wait to break it down. We have a lot of slate-breaking injury news to break down for you guys. One of my favorite phrases in the world, but I really do mean it this time. 10-game slate absolutely filled with injury news all over the board. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and joining us. It is Monday. Happy Monday to every single person out there. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their NFL Sunday. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. Cannot wait to break that down as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. TJ ran into some technical difficulties before the live stream, which is why we were just a little bit late. He just came out and said it. His computer sucks, but you know what? It's all good. We are live and ready to do this. We're gonna just fire through all the injury news, guys. Hold your questions until the very end. We're gonna prioritize all the cash plays. Thank you so much for showing the love in the chat, guys. Really do appreciate it. 81 people right off the rip, guys. We didn't even have to say a word, so let's keep it going. Let's get to 380 viewers. I will give away $25, I promise, and hopefully TJ will match that. We'll do some giveaways if we can get to 380 live viewers. We are on the rise, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. Let's just go ahead and dive right into this, TJ. Starting with some of the injury news that had just broke the slate. Let's talk about this Joel Embiid news. I'll start out since I have the numbers crunched already. And of course, Fantasy Cruncher decided to zero out every single projection on the slate. I kid you guys not. Look, I mean, I'm looking at my screen right now. All the injuries, every single one of these players are zeroed out for some reason. This is a glitch. Let me go ahead and refresh my page. Right when I was ready. Okay, do you want to go ahead and start out then?
Yeah, I just figured that all out. All right, guys. So
there we go.
Embiid being off the floor, we have Dwight Howard, chalk night. So everybody, welcome. Going up against Detroit, 4,200, Matt, with Embiid and Mike Scott off the floor. Howard gets only a 0.05 usage boost, which is, you know, something I didn't think he would get a high usage boost, obviously, because he's never playing alongside Embiid. But a 1.21 fantasy point per minute in his absence.
Crazy.
18% usage bump, 18% usage rate. I have him pegged for an 8.1, which is the highest on our sheet. 34 DraftKings points at 4,200. He's going to be a lock for me in cash, Matt.
Absolutely.
Projected at 28 minutes. If you can stay out of foul trouble, he should easily smash that. I also have some other interest here. Tobias Harris, very cheap at 7,200, gets a 4.5% usage bump with Embiid and Scott off the floor, 1.21 fantasy point per minute, and a 27% usage rate. So I do like Tobias in cash. I think he's going to carry some ownership. I think Ben Simmons is going to carry some ownership. I prefer Tobias Harris. I feel like broken record every time Embiid is out. I say that, but I do think Simmons is viable if you want to go there. And then Milton off the bench, or if he is starting, is he starting? Probably coming off the bench, I would assume. Pegged at 26 minutes, Matt. He gets a 4.6% usage bump.
He's talking about Milton?
1.15. Yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I haven't projected at 24, so that's a bit scary. But yeah, go ahead.
So 24, yeah, coming off the bench. Okay, more of a tournament play then for me if he is getting around 24 minutes. If he's playing 26 to 28, I wouldn't hate him in cash as the last piece. But for cash plays, it's going to be Dwight Howard as a lock. I think Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons, you're going to need one of those two guys.
Morphix, Dwight, DeMarcus Cousins, Howard. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this guy averages 1.21 fantasy points per minute. He is a stud. $4,200. Completely agree with everything you just said. And not only that, TJ, didn't even talk about the matchup. Should have a great game against Mason Plumlee. So I like that matchup. $4,200. Projected at 27 minutes. An absolute smash spot. I really do like him. Tobias Harris, yeah, you're preaching to the choir here. 17.3% owned, TJ, which is actually relatively low. They did update the ownership. I think he's more of a GPP option, but he can slide into that cash option. I really do like his upside. $7,200. He's the one who gets a usage boost. Ben Simmons' game does not really change with Dwight Howard off the floor. So yeah, I'm going to prefer both Tobias Harris and Dwight Howard. I don't know if I'm going to get to Tobias Harris, but I still absolutely love him for GPPs and cash. Showing a 6.1 point per dollar value on their sheet. I was kind of hoping he was going to creep back to that 6K range before I took a stab at him, but $7,200 still a fantastic value play. And yeah, everybody else on this team is definitely going to be a GPP option. Like I said, let's not waste any time, TJ. Let's go on down the list here. We're going to talk about, do you want to talk about Toronto since they're next on the list, since we know Siakam's out, or you want to hold off?
Yeah, the minutes just got dispersed, actually, so we can do that now.
Okay.
Let's update them. 36.
I'll do that live for you guys.
24, 35. Stanley Johnson probably going to start. Baines, 19. Stanley Johnson, 24. Okay. Matt, so they have Norman Powell projected at 35 minutes. So, what do you have for Fantasy Cruncher?
I'm checking right now. You said Powell. They did not update the minutes, it looks like, for me. So
So I have Powell at 35 minutes. He played 36 minutes last game against Indiana with both Lowry and Siakam off the floor. So I have no reason to believe that he won't play north of 32 minutes. So honestly, Matt, as a last piece in cash at 5,200, I'm going to like Powell. He gets a 2.1% usage bump with Siakam off the floor, 0.89 fantasy point per minute, and a 24.6% usage rate, 31.8 DK points is what I would have him projected for. So I'm looking at Norman Powell right now. And then I think one of Van Vliet and Lowry, they both show pretty well. Lowry actually gets a 2.8% usage bump. He's a 1.24 fantasy point per minute and a 25.1% usage rate. So
what's the total you have on him?
For Lowry?
Yeah.
45.9 DraftKings points.
Got it. Okay.
And I would have Van Vliet at 44.05.
Okay.
I have OG at 36.86.
43?
No, 36.86.
Okay.
Boucher at 31.42.
Okay.
Powell at 31.8.
Oh, I just did that for Baines. That's the wrong guy.
Don't do that for
I can't find him.
because Baines will show very well.
You said Boucher at what?
Boucher, 31.42. Boucher really hasn't. His minutes have come down a little bit.
Yeah. Don't like that. Okay, and then Terrence Davis we're probably not going to touch. Yeah, Powell. Got him. All right.
Powell.
All right, continue on. So you think Powell's a lock in cash?
I think Powell's going to – I don't know if he's going to be a quote-unquote lock, but I think he's going to carry some ownership for sure. And I think one of these guys in Van Vliet and Lowry is going to carry ownership. I prefer Lowry at a $200 discount.
Yeah.
He gets a higher usage bump. He's a higher fantasy point per minute and a higher overall usage rate with Siakam off the floor. So if I'm looking anywhere here, it's going to be Lowry and it's going to be Norman Powell. And then I think, Van Vliet, Boucher, OG, they're all going to be tournament plays for sure with Siakam off the floor.
Yeah, the matchup does scare me too. Indiana is a good defense historically,
good
so that's
team.
always a bad thing when you're looking at all these additional value plays, especially in the pay up options, because you don't know if they have ceiling potential going against that defense. So that's always a hesitation for me. I do think there's better value on the slate, TJ. Let's continue down, not wasting any time. Let's talk about Miami now. So Miami versus Brooklyn. I touched base on them in the video. It stayed the same. It looks like no additional injury news for these guys. Goran Dragic projected 31. Yeah, nothing's changed. So let's talk about them. Kendrick Nunn pops on our sheet. He's been balling out $6,100. He's also 7.6% owned. Adebayo carries a nice percentage ownership here, 25.5%, and also Dragic 18.1%. But they're playing against the Brooklyn Nets. That's a huge over-under right now. 236.5 is by far the most on the slate. That's the one thing I like here. Brooklyn's favored by 7 points. I don't think they'll get blown out, but I do love the matchup. There is some blowout potential here. What are your thoughts here on the Miami Heat?
So I really like Bam in this matchup, Matt, at 8,500. Going up against Brooklyn, who currently rank last against opposing centers. So I think this is a fantastic matchup for Bam. He also rates out really well with all these guys off the floor, obviously, including Butler, Hero. He gets a 1.8% usage bump. He's a 1.34 fantasy point per minute, which is the highest on the team. And he also accrues the highest usage rate on the team at 28.6%. So I really like Bam, especially in this matchup against Brooklyn. I'm considering him for cash. He is one of the spend ups that I'm going to currently. You mentioned Kendrick Nunn. He's been absolutely fantastic in the absence of Butler and Hero. So I do like him as the last piece. Probably more of a tournament play for me. He's not really showing that ownership, especially with that price increase. But even at 6,100, playing 32 plus minutes, Matt,
I have him at 35.
He gets a little.
So.
Okay, so yeah, if he's playing 35 minutes, I just want to check one thing real quick. So I think 32 is a safe number, and I think if he goes anywhere north of that, you're in good shape. He's a 1.07 fantasy point per minute off the bench. We've seen how aggressive he has been. So I do like Kendrick Nunn. Matt, he's just been really good since he came back against Detroit. So I don't hate him if you're landing there at 6,100, but I think my priority is probably going to be Bam. I have some interest in Dragic as well. I think one of these guys between Dragic and Nunn is going to have a really good game. I still think I lean Nunn because I think he's capable of playing more minutes. But Dragic is right there for sure. But Bam is probably my favorite play here.
Yeah, and the ownership agrees with you, TJ. I think this is going to be a cash option for sure. I think one of those three guys are cash viable, in my opinion, because of the over-under. You have to have some exposure, like you said, to one of these guys. specifically Bam Adebayo with the best matchup there. So,
Yeah.
again, going down the line, not wasting any time. We got to touch base on all these injuries here. Dallas, do you want to touch base on them? Or no? I feel like they're going to fall by the wayside.
We can if you want.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward onto who I would want to go to.
Yeah, Doncic.
Yeah, it's going to be Luka. If you can spend up and get him at 10-7, I think he's a viable option, Matt. 1.68 fantasy point per minute with DFS, Powell, Kleber, and Josh Richardson off the floor. 34% usage rate, which is massive. So, yeah, I like Luka as a spend up tonight if you can get there. I'm currently prioritizing Bam, probably one of Simmons and Harris, and then probably Lowry, honestly. So I don't know if I'm going to have the flexibility to go get up Luka. I kind of like the range below the studs tonight in terms of cash. So I think Luka's going to fall by the wayside. So I think he's a really good tournament play for sure at 10-7.
Completely agree with you there. Real quick, before we move on, guys, I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning into the live stream. If you could smash that like button, get that like button or like counter up so that we can get to the top
up, guys.
Of the search results. Help us get there. Help us get to 380 viewers, and that will break the all-time record. All right, so yeah, Dallas pretty quickly moving on from them. San Antonio, nothing going on there. Let's move on to the Boston Celtics. Okay,
Matt, I want to say one thing about the Spurs.
Yes,
one thing, real quick. I'm not gonna talk. DeJounte Murray's price tag
is insane.
Is criminal right now.
Yep.
Yeah, he was just at 8,100 against Portland.
Good point.
That might have been a showdown game actually. He was 7,400 against Golden State and Dallas back to back. 7K against Washington. Now all of a sudden he got a $500
after a good game
price decrease. So I'm not sure. It's a good matchup against the Pelicans. So I do like DeJounte Murray, honestly. That's
and he is cash viable. I talked about him in the video. Probably the only guy from San Antonio that I do like. It's a pace down spot for them. It's about an average pace down spot for them. So not too intrigued there. But yeah, DeJounte Murray, probably the only guy I'm really looking at there. Let's move on to your Boston Celtics. Pretty much only talking about Jason Tatum here. I know you're excited to see him back because right now he's playing 32 minutes. Do you think he's going to actually play minutes?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Haven't seen him for almost 3 weeks, technically, I guess, if you want to call it, since the 8th. So no, I don't think he's going to play any crazy minutes. He's not going to play, 38 like we're accustomed to in close games. So Matt, I do like JB still at 8,500. 1.38 fantasy point per minute with Pritchard and Kemba off the floor. So I don't hate him as a spend up spot, honestly. Probably more of a tournament play for me because there's somebody on the other side of the ball in this game that I do like a little bit more.
A little bit.
But yeah, I don't hate JB. I'd stay away from Tatum tonight in cash. If you want to take a stab at him in tournaments, be my guest. I just wouldn't trust it. Smart's pretty cheap at 6,400. He gets a little bit of a usage bump with Pritchard and Kemba off the floor. 0.92 fantasy point per minute. It's going to be a tournament play for me tonight, but my favorite play is going to be JB. But again, I'm on the fence about him in cash. More of a tournament play for me.
Let's move on straight to the Chicago Bulls. You want to go ahead and talk about Zach LaVine now?
Yeah, we talked about DeJounte Murray and his price decrease, and now all of a sudden LaVine who was just 9,500 for what 4 straight games. He was 9,200 against the Lakers, and now all of a sudden he's 8,600 against the Celtics. So I don't understand the price decrease. Projected at 36 minutes in what could potentially be a competitive game, hopefully, because I'm all in on LaVine, Matt. He's going to be a cash lock for me. 1.8% usage bump with Wendell Carter off the floor. He's a 1.44 fantasy point per minute, 31.3% usage rate. I have him projected at 52.8 DraftKings points. So a really good value on the sheet. So if he was 9,500, I'd probably, back off him a little bit. I know the Celtics are very good defensively. But with that being said, I still do
should be competitive. Should be.
Yeah. If the Bulls can keep it competitive with the Celtics, then yes, I really like LaVine. I'm not going to say he is a cash lock, Matt. For me, I'm making him a priority. So at that price tag, I think it's criminal, honestly. So I do have some interest in Zach LaVine tonight.
In other words, you think he's a great way to differentiate yourself in small tournaments?
Yes, 100%.
There you go. All right, let's move on. Actually, one thing I want to talk about, just FYI, Lonzo Ball is projected to start. Yeah, I know. And he still looks good. Lonzo Ball is projected to start, and also the prize pick projection on him right now is at 24. Told all the Patreon members to hammer that. That's a free square for you guys. If he does start and play 30 minutes, I love that projection at 24. I don't think you can disagree with that, TJ, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. If he starts
especially against
he gets 30 minutes, then
Yep. All right, moving on. Anyway, using code DGF, 100% match deposit up to $100.
sure you hit that DGF.
All right, let's get back on
Minnesota?
track here. Minnesota. Yeah, let's talk about Minnesota. Going down to their matchup versus Golden State. What are your thoughts?
So we have D'Lo doubtful, so most likely out. We have Cat out, and we have Hernan Gomez out. Matt, it's the same lineup that, or the same situation that we saw last game for them. So I think there is some pretty good cheap value, honestly. I like Malik Beasley, but a tournament play. Where are they on my sheet? Here we are. I do have some interest. I think I talked about this last time on stream. I had some interest in McLaughlin and Jared Culver. I do have interest in Culver again with those guys off the floor, projected at 24 minutes, a 3.1% usage bump, 0.94 fantasy point per minute, carrying 8% ownership right now, Matt. I don't hate him as a last piece. More of a tournament play for me, but if I am landing there, I'm not going to hate it. Coming off the bench, 22.2% usage, 22.2% usage rate. So I don't hate him. Ricky Rubio is very cheap at 5,100. If he's going to play 30-ish minutes, I really don't hate him at his price tag, Matt. 1.3% usage bump, 1.02 fantasy point per minute with those guys off the floor. And then Jarrett Vanderbilt is a guy that I do have interest in as well. I like targeting bigs against Golden State, especially, the rookie Wiseman. So I don't hate him either. The minutes just really haven't been there for him. They haven't really been consistent. So more of a tournament play for me there. This is probably going to be more of a tournament team, but I do think there's a lot of value here.
They were cash viable, but now with all this injury news coming out, they're falling by the wayside for sure. Yep. One person I want to talk about on the Warriors, just because his price tag sticks out like a sore thumb here. Steph Curry, $9,200. If this does stay competitive, TJ, I think you can also agree that's amazing for as a price tag. 35 minutes, 21% ownership. He's also cash viable. Yes, do you think?
Yeah, I think you can get there if you want. 9-point favorites at home are Golden State. The only thing I'm scared about is that Minnesota getting their doors blown off. But, if they get their doors blown off, it's most likely going to be because Steph snaps. So 9,200, that is very cheap for Steph. If he can get a game where he plays 35-plus minutes, then he can pay that price tag off pretty quickly.
Draymond Green is a very frustrating DFS player. He has one good game and then has like 5 bad games in a row. This should be the game where he has a good game. Take advantage of it. 18.5% ownership. He has no reason not to unless they blow him out. 5.2K. This is going to be the lowest you'll see him in a while. Should get his price increase after this game. 18.5%. He's also cash viable just because of that price tag, straight up, and good matchup. Last but not least, OKC versus the Portland Trailblazers. Let's take a look here. We have Ariza, Josh Hall, George Hill now, Horford, and Jerome all out for OKC. So Diallo, very, very chalky, 33.8% owned, 5.6 point per dollar value. Isaiah Roby, also very cash viable. What are your thoughts on this overall picture here for OKC?
So Horford is officially out. Perfect. Those are the two guys that I have the most interest in, Matt. Diallo is a very good play at 3,900, projected 25 minutes currently. He is a 1.07 fantasy point per minute. So at 3,900, playing 25 minutes, in what could potentially be a competitive game because Portland is depleted as well. I do like Diallo, especially if he starts. If he starts, he's going to be a lock for me, Matt. So I just want to, we're not going to get that lineup, obviously, before the slate locks because they are the 10 o'clock game. I expect him to start at the 2 with George Hill being out, though. If for some reason Maladin starts, I'd probably have some interest there at 3,500. But for me right now, I'm going to assume Diallo does start at the 2. So I really like him. Most likely a cash lock for me again. Roby, I think, is in play at 4,600 with Horford off the floor and George Hill. He's a 1.02 fantasy point per minute. He's been giving him really good starter minutes. He hasn't really seen anything crazy in terms of minutes. He hasn't gone over 27 in any, or 28 rather, in any of these games that he has been starting, but he has been able to get the value. So I do like him. If you're going there at 4,600, he is showing some ownership as well. And then SGA, tournament play for me. He's 21.7% ownership, but I'm not going to go there in cash. Here. I think he could have a big game. But yeah, I think this is a really good team in terms of tournaments to target again, like Dort and Bazley. I'll have some interest in, but Diallo and Roby I think are cash viable, and Diallo for me is my favorite play.
Yeah, Diallo is going to be a cash lock for me. Just way too cheap, way too consistent of a player, at least fantasy point per minute wise. So very good play. Let's look at the Portland Trailblazers. I know you want to talk about them. Carmelo Anthony showing 27.6% owned. Lillard showing 20.1. What are your thoughts?
Melo's a fantastic play at 4,600, Matt. Most likely going to start for Covington, who is out. Obviously, we have Nurkic and McCollum out. Back-to-back here for the Trailblazers as well. Melo gets a 6.6% usage bump and a 0.87 fantasy point per minute. Also carries the second highest usage rate on the team behind Dame at 27.6%. So I have Melo pegged as a 6.45 on our sheet, 29.7% for 29.7 DraftKings points is what I currently have him pegged for. So I really like Melo if you're looking there in cash. Oh my God, I said quiche. Yeah, quiche. If you're going there in quiche, I think you can go there. I honestly don't hate Simons, and it makes me uncomfortable, but he's probably going to be more of a tournament
makes
play
you uncomfortable.
At 3,400, 4.1% usage bump, 0.96 fantasy point per minute. Actually, the third highest usage rate behind Dame and Melo at 25%. I'm pegged for 23 DraftKings points, so I don't hate him. And then Harry Giles is maybe my favorite tournament play. At 3,100, projected at 20 minutes. He's a 1.07 fantasy point per minute with those guys off the floor, 2.2% usage bump. So I do like Harry Giles, a guy that, could easily burn you, but at 3,100 is a guy that I'm going to take chances on in tournaments, him and Simons both. And then Dame at 10-3, obviously going to be cash viable, Matt. Looks really good against the Knicks and was super efficient. Only took 17 shots last night and still managed to get 61 DraftKings points. Could easily play 40 minutes if this game is competitive. So I do like Dame if you are going there in cash. But for me, Melo's probably my favorite piece, which, again, makes me uncomfortable like Simons does.
All right, going back to the very beginning of the stream, guys, play the cash lineups that the cash plays that we just talked about through every single team, because every single team that we just touched base on have some kind of significant injury news that does impact the team, and because of that, the ownership's going to be higher on all those guys. So TJ, what we're going to do for everybody joining into the stream, we're going to break it all down, kind of a summary here. We're going to give some of our favorite plays overall. So let me just refresh the page. Let me see if ownership did update. So
it did.
It did it? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it did. Good. Right on cue. Okay.
I mean, everybody we just talked about literally is
at the top.
Wow. I honestly have my lineup. I have my lineup right now.
Okay.
I'm not. Oh no, it doesn't have Levine. I might
you really
not play
want Levine
now.
You really want
this
Levine.
This lineup I have is unbelievable. I have to play it.
Okay. So let's break it all down, TJ. If you're going to be giving your cash locks right now, 4 to 5, where are you building from? Who are you building from?
It's going to be Dwight. It's going to be Diallo. It's going to be one of Tobias and Ben Simmons. I lean Tobias at that 7,200 price tag. I really like Bam in the spot against Brooklyn at 8,500. I love Melo with those guys being off the floor at 4,600. Steph, like you talked about, Matt, in a competitive game, 9,200. I really like him. I think Roby's in play at 4,600. Dragic and Nunn, one of those guys I think is viable at 62 and 6,100 respectively. Isaiah Roby, I don't hate at 4,600. It's a really good matchup against Portland. SGA in a good matchup too. Got to try and somehow stay competitive with Portland. I feel like a lot of that offense is going to fall on his shoulders, especially with Hill and Horford off. That's a cash lineup within itself.
Yep, you just literally gave 8 players, so...
I mean, that's Levine too, Matt, at 8,600. Like, I do like him. I might be off of
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray at 6,500. I think is viable. Vooch, I don't hate it, 8,700, honestly, even with Gordon on the floor. He gets a 1.2% usage bump with Michael Carter off the floor, 1.4 fantasy point per minute. A lot of people were a little upset with the first half that he had, but Vooch is very capable, so ended up getting value. And at 8,700, he got a little bit of a price decrease, so I do like him. We didn't even talk about Norman Powell. I think his ownership's going to creep up at 5,200. Probably more of a tournament play, but I wouldn't hate landing there. Yeah, Lowry is a fantastic play. So there's so many good plays tonight. Matt, I think tonight is going to be very high scoring. Very high scoring.
Oh, yeah, it should be. Quick question for you, TJ, before we move on to my cash locks. Was Bradley Beal a good or bad play last night?
Bradley Beal was a very good play last night.
Just making sure.
People can complain about the production that he had. He took 29 shots. Like, anytime you can get Bradley Beal to shoot 29 times, like, sign me up. So I'd ride again tonight. If it was the same situation and Bradley Beal was there at 10-2, I would take Bradley Beal. I pivoted off of Dame. Unfortunately, didn't work out. I still ended up cashing, thankfully, because DeAndre Hunter was an absolute animal. But I think they were both in really good spots, and I don't think you could go wrong with either of them. But again, Bradley Beal shooting 29 times, like, I'll take that all night.
The reason I bring that up is because just like last night, tonight, there are so many good plays that are interchangeable, guys. I recommend playing MME because that is the one way to win a lot of money in DFS. We've done it many, many times, and we'll keep preaching it. So if you just play one lineup and you don't cash tonight, but you played everybody that we just talked about, your process isn't incorrect. It just didn't fall in your favor. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, my cash locks for tonight are going to be Dwight Howard, Diallo, Carmelo Anthony, and it's also going to be Steph. The reason why I say Steph is I'm going to favor that high over under, and I think that's going to be the way to differentiate yourself. Play the guys in the higher over under. Don't go for guys. I will make a strong opinion by saying don't go for guys in these lower over-unders against bad defense, or against good defenses, rather. I would be more comfortable playing Miami guys, Golden State Warriors, also Minnesota. I think those guys are going to be in a higher over-under. And same thing with, I guess you can throw Philly in the mix, even though it's not really a high over-under. They have a good matchup, though, however. So, yeah, we have 281 total viewers right now. If you guys could show us some support,
wow, you guys
by
are
hitting
awesome.
that
Thank you
like
so
button.
much.
Let's get it to 380 by the end of the live stream.
Oh, boy, Matt.
What's up?
Nothing. This lineup I have 8,600 in the util. There's Levine, there's JB, there's Bam, there's Simmons. There's so many options.
Yeah, and you know you're going to pick the wrong one, so. Sorry,
What?
I won't put that in your head.
That's so rude. Okay, thank you.
I do think Levine's a great play. All right, let's move on to questions. I'm going to go straight to the Discord. Oh, yeah, Luka. Luka's another one.
Yeah, Luka's good too. Yep.
Holy cow. Got so many notifications. All right. Levine or Brown for GPP? Straight up, TJ. I think you answered that earlier.
I think I'm going to go Levine.
Yep, I agree. Levine.
I don't want to. No, because I'll talk about it for like 7 minutes. So I'm going to say Levine.
Levine or Brown for tiers? So straight up.
Okay, if Tatum is on a minute. If Tatum is on a minute restriction and he's not playing 30-plus minutes, then I'd probably go JB. If Tatum's going to play around 30-ish, then I would give it to Levine.
I totally agree with that.
What was that next one, Matt?
Levine or Bam, straight up.
Oh, jeez. Bam.
Okay. Howard only cash, or can you add him
I just did. I went Bam.
Howard only in cash, or can you add him in tournaments? So, guys, when we talk about cash plays, yes, they aren't off limits in tournaments. They should be building blocks. Right. So you can play them in GPPs, you can play them in cash. Just differentiate yourself somewhere else if you do play him in bigger tournaments. Just differentiate yourself, and not the center spot in the point guard position. All right, kind of.
Or you pivot off of them and you take Tristan Thompson, who's going to go for 40 DraftKings.
You could do that too. All right, that's all the questions I have.
That's it? Okay.
Yep.
Perfectenschlag. Let's see. What do we have here? What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
We have people asking for lineups in the comments, guys. That's not what we do here. If we do that, we are going against DraftKings terms and services. So please do not ask for full lineups here.
Yeah, guys, come on. Simmons or Harris? That's very tough, Nick. I'm going to say Harris because he is cheaper. Does Lowry's toe scare you or not? Dude's got bunions. No, it doesn't scare me, but he's definitely got bunions. Melo and SGA look great now. I agree, CW. I do like Melo and Cash. If you're landing on SGA, I don't hate it, but I do think there might be some better options. He is in a good spot to succeed, though, tonight. Matt, we got a Cash lineup. Teague, Levine, KD, Melo, Bam, Nunn, Diallo, Dwight. I'm not too high on Teague or KD, honestly, for Cash. Probably, I think those guys are going to carry some pretty low ownership. But I like everything else you have. I don't hate KD tonight, honestly. And Teague is in a decent spot with no Pritchard and no Kemba. But yeah, it'd probably be more of a tournament lineup for me, honestly.
Got some questions here. Cash, Nunn, Powell, Diallo, Tobias, Dwight, Dame, Melo, Bam. The only guy I don't like is Powell. Oh no, that's Norman Powell. Never mind. I do like that lineup. Yes. For medium size,
what's Norman Powell's ownership right now?
It's actually pretty low.
It's okay. If it's not gonna come up, I would stick to him in tournaments, honestly.
Okay.
But
the rest of those guys are very cash viable. You might have to switch up. I'd say.
Just kidding. Powell's ownership did shoot up. Okay, that's what I thought it would.
Didn't for me. Let me refresh again.
I show him now at 20. Yeah, perfect. 21%. That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
Yay. Okay.
Well, let me check.
You got it too? No.
10.5. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. I think it will creep up.
For medium-sized GPP, how many should I differ? It's not so much about the spots as about the ownership, but spots about 3 to 4. Medium, I consider between 100 and 1,000 people. Would you feel good? Sorry, wrong question. Cash, Steph, Diallo, Culver, Harris, Howard, Levine, Anthony, and Adebayo. Yes, I do like that overall. Culver is going to be a little bit lower owned, but I still think he's cash viable. Lillard or Curry? Both have high usage. That's going to be the question of the night, TJ. Where are you going? For value, I think Steph.
Yeah, I'd probably say Dame, though.
But I do like Dame.
Yeah, I think more of the offense falls on him opposed to Steph. He's got Wiggins, Oubre. I mean, Dame has me, you, and Melo out there, so.
Not bad. Not a bad option for sure.
I shouldn't say that. He has Cantor, and he's got Derek Jones. I resent that.
So do you like Steph or Lillard?
I mean, there is a pretty big price discrepancy between them. It's $1,100. I'd probably go to Steph if I'm playing cash.
I agree. All right, go ahead to your questions. That's all I have.
Let's see here. What do we have? How do you feel about Marcus Smart? I like Smart in tournaments. KD, Harden, and Kyrie good for GPPs. Don't play all three. You can definitely get one of those guys in your lineups for sure. Can you talk about the Nets? Yeah, I mean, Matt, I do like the Nets here, but more tournament plays.
Yeah.
They have the highest over-under, obviously, on the slate at a 122. If I'm going anywhere, I'm still gonna go with James Harden. I know
You
that
love
probably
him, man.
is not what. Yeah, I do. If he's gonna take this backseat role and he's not gonna shoot 10 times, like his price tag is gonna come down, and I'm gonna start to really not like him. But I still think Harden's my guy. I think he can play the most minutes out of those three. And I think I still lean Harden, unfortunately. Matt probably likes Kyrie and KD more than Harden.
I do.
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to see what we're going to see. It kind of looks like Harden is going to take the backseat and let Kyrie and KD shoot. So
regardless, in big tournaments, I do like one of these three in your lineup. Please do not stack the Nets. Okay, right. One of these three will have a ceiling game.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Don't take Harden either. He's trash. Can you guys talk about? Okay, we did that. Can you say a tournament? No, Andrew. I'm sorry, we can't. Lillard and Luka. Thumbs up. Yes. Nick. No Teague love. I got burnt for mentioning Teague on last stream, so I'm gonna leave Teague off to the side tonight. Levine, too scoring dependent. Yeah, I agree with you a little bit there, but I think he could have a really big game. Going up against the Celtics, tough matchup. We worried about a Golden State blowout with no Cat or Russell. Yeah, for sure, always. But Golden State's not very great right now, so it does worry me a little bit. Yeah. Any love for the Wiggins narrative? Yeah, going up against his old team. If you want to take a chance at him in cash, I mean, in tournaments, go ahead.
Like every player has a narrative.
Lineup? Andrew, sorry, we can't just give out lineups, man. We got a lineup here from Andrew Matt. Small single entry GPP and cash. We have DeJounte Murray, Diallo, Tobias Harris, Roby, Bam, Lillard, Melo, and Dwight. I like it. Gary Trent or Rodney Hood. I probably lean Gary Trent tonight, honestly. Milkman's got a lineup. He spelled Levine. Interesting. Doncic, Lanzo, so Lonzo, Levine, Nunn, Bam, Draymond, Dwight for tournament. That's you're missing a guy, I think, but I don't hate that for tournaments. How do you feel about Gordon Hayward, cash or GPP? Tournament play for me tonight. He was balls last night. He was lights out, 7,300. His price tag has come down a little bit too. Back to back, a little weary of. But yeah, no, I do really like Gordon Hayward for tournaments. Honestly, he's very cheap.
Got a couple questions.
If you're landing there in cash too, I don't hate it. Go ahead, Matt.
Got a couple questions. Howard or Wiseman? Howard, please start with Howard and cash. Please do not fade Howard and cash.
Yep.
Lowry or Van Fleet in tournaments. I like both of them. I like Lowry just a little bit more, and when I mean a little, I mean this much more. Is tonight not a Jokic night? Great question. I think Jokic is a great tournament play. He could easily be in the optimal. He always has that capability any given night. Jokic, great contrarian play. GPP, Brunson, Fournier, Diallo, Carmelo, Vooch, Levine, Roby, and Adebayo. Don't hate that. The only guy I'm not on so much is Fournier, but I don't hate him. Jamal Murray or DeJounte Murray? Both Murrays. Good question. Jamal Murray's also a great GPP option. DeJounte Murray's a little bit less expensive, so I do like DeJounte Murray overall. Go ahead.
Thoughts on DeJounte versus Nunn? I lean Nunn, I think, but I do like DeJounte. I like both of them a lot, honestly. The DeJounte price tag is too cheap. Also Tobias. Yeah, I like Tobias as a cash piece. OG and Hanobi as a dub. Yeah, no, he looked really good. Was it yesterday that they just played? Yeah. And he's in a good spot without Siakam. So I do have a little more interest in Powell and or Lowry. Let's see, Matt. We got a lineup here for cash. We have Steph, Culver, Diallo, Melo, Dwight, Levine, Tobias, Bam. I don't hate it. Honestly, I don't hate Culver as a last piece tonight. He'll get minutes even if the game blows out. Matt, does your equation work on 1,500 people GPPs? We're not going to get into that right now, DJ. Sorry, because we got a bunch of questions. Another cash lineup here, Matt. We have Steph, Diallo, Harris, Melo, Howard, Lowry, Roby, Bam. Love that lineup. Really like that lineup. Took down a small NFL GPP yesterday.
Nice.
Good job, Matt. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Wiggins revenge game. All right, everybody likes that. How do you feel about Norman Powell? I like Norman Powell. He could play if he plays 35 minutes, which he's projected at right now. Matt, you have him at 32 still, or did that get updated?
Good question. Let me look that up real quick.
If Powell starts, which I would assume he starts at the
27 now.
27 minutes?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't. Okay.
I can update again. Hold on, let me make sure that's true.
I mean, I guess I don't see him playing 27 minutes, honestly. I'd say like 32 is the floor. I think 32 is a pretty safe number. Really?
Yeah, 27. Yep.
Okay. That stinks. Well, I still like him. I think he plays 30, at least 30. We got another cash lineup, Matt. We got Curry, Nunn, Diallo, Melo, Dwight, DeJounte, OG, and Bam. I like it. DeJounte and OG probably going to be your two guys that are going to carry a little bit lower ownership. Nunn might actually not carry too high of ownership, but I do like that, Tommy. Tobias or Hayward straight up. I think you go Tobias in cash, Hayward in tournaments, but I think they're both in really good spots and they're both very cheap. How long can Nunn keep this up for? Honestly, that's a good question, man, but he's looked really good. Is Lowry and Pascal out? No, just Siakam. Zion for cash, not tonight. How do you feel about Duncan Robinson at 4,700? Matt, tournament play. He is very cheap. Shooter and a high over/under was something we really love to target. I'm assuming that's FanDuel because Duncan is 6,200 on DraftKings. So for FanDuel, I guess I wouldn't hate that. I think that's a really cheap price tag, honestly. Go ahead, Matt.
Sorry, yeah. Kyrie, Culver, Diallo, Roby, Howard, Lillard, Anthony, Adebayo. Don't know if that's cash or GPP. I'd say that's definitely more GPP. Does Fred VanVleet usage go up with Siakam out? Yeah, just a tad, TJ, I do believe, right?
Not really. It's Lowry's that gets affected more, and Norman Powell.
Okay.
Yeah, Powell gets a good usage bump, as does Lowry.
Cash, Curry, Powell, Culver, Anthony, Howard, Lillard, Diallo, Bam. I feel like that lineup was sitting here earlier. So yes, that is cash viable. The only guy I'm hesitant on is Culver. Thoughts on Evan Fournier for GPP? Don't mind him. Don't love him. Just kind of like an eh. He's okay. He's a last minute filler. TJ, I'm done with questions.
Okay. Let's see. None are smart. Oh, that's tough. I think none in cash. If you're going there, I mean, I kind of do like Marcus Smart tonight, Matt. Will you punch me in the face?
You smart, you said?
Yeah, it's
yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Okay, it sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think you.
Sorry that you feel that way.
Ownership than Kendrick. You know
Smartest?
what? Yeah, he is. Yep. They're 14% ownership right now on Roto. I think I still give it to Nunn, but I like them both, Ja. I think if you land on either one, you're fine. That's a tough one for me, honestly. Maybe some smart bias for me because I'm a Boston guy. Porzingis or Simmons? I go Simmons tonight with Embiid off the floor. Tice or Tristan? Chicago gets destroyed with bigs. Yeah, that's why I subtly mentioned TT. I don't hate taking a chance on one of those guys in tournaments for sure between Tice and Tristan because yes, Chicago is not good against bigs. Any punts for centers? We just gave you two, Tice or Tristan. Matt, we got a lineup here. We got Murray, Nunn, Diallo, Melo, Dwight, Levine, Harris, and Jaylen Brown. I like that, Nick. More of a tournament lineup for me, though. Is Patty Mills someone I can consider? Matt, do you have any interest in Patty Mills tonight?
No.
Okay.
One of the best players of all time, though. Good.
Okay. Luka or Jokic last piece in a tournament? Oof. Give me. Oh God. Give me Jokic.
Really?
Yeah. Give me Jokic.
Okay.
What do you?
I like them both.
I think Jokic is going to be half the ownership of Luka.
That's true. If that's your last piece and you're trying to get different, yeah, Jokic is a good option.
Yep. I don't know who Jokic is. I know who Jokic is. Curry and Diallo or Simmons and Wiggins? Curry and Diallo. What about Brandon Ingram? Tournament play. 8,100 tonight, I think. Or 8K? Where's BI?
Yeah, 81. And they're almost the same. Oh, he's 8. You're right. Zion's 79, so they're literally the same price now. So that's crazy.
Yeah. Does Curry drop a 50 bump tonight? If the game stays competitive, yes. Yep, he does. Anthony Simons, I like him as a tournament play. Dwight Howard or Naz Reid? Dwight Howard. Cole Anthony, question mark. I'm not as high on Cole Anthony with Aaron Gordon back. So, yeah, that's about all I got.
Guys, Dwight Howard should be in all your lineups for small GPPs and cash, just saying.
We got a DeLon. God bless you, Amanda. We got a DeLon Wright question, Matt. I don't hate him in tournaments. He played 36 minutes against Philly with D Rose out. If you want to go there in tournament, sure, but not in cash, no chance.
Yep, I agree.
KD or Jokic tournaments. Still gonna say Jokic.
Yep, Jokic.
Roby or Melo? I think you go Melo. I like Melo there. I do like Isaiah Roby too, though, but I give the edge to Melo. More minutes, more opportunity. Miles Turner for tournaments.
Oh no,
sure.
we're getting all the notifications at the same time again. Here we go.
What? Oh,
Your face.
Everybody with subs.
Yep.
Oh, is it my face still? I forgot
It's
it was my face.
Yeah, it's your face. Oh, did it stop?
Chris Boucher,
Nice.
tournament play. The minutes haven't been there. Tough matchup too against Indy. But yeah, his minutes just really haven't been there. I don't know what's going on. We got another lineup, Matt. We got Holiday, McDermott, Culver, or Okogie.
Is Justin Holiday?
Oh, you're asking between those four guys. Justin Holiday, McDermott, Culver, or Okogie on my last small forward piece on cash. I give it a Culver.
I would too. But I'm sorry that you're landing on those guys.
Jokic or Bam? That's a very big price discrepancy.
Yeah, very big.
Bam for cash, but if it's just like straight up, I guess you got to give me Jokic, right? I mean,
I think that's more in terms of value. I'm pretty sure that would be the question you'd be asking. So yeah, Bam for value.
Yeah, Bam for value, but if you have the option to choose between the two, I think you take Jokic.
Yeah, NBA is one of those sports where you don't leave too much on the table, guys. Don't go leaving $2,000 on the table, please.
Rozier for tournaments. I like Hayward more. Tobias or Beasley, FanDuel GPP Tobias.
Tobias, yes.
Cash lineup. We got Luka, Diallo, Culver, Melo, Howard, Curry, Roby, and Bam. I like that. A lot of people landing on Culver as the last piece, so I might get scolded if he sucks tonight, Matt.
Yeah, Culver is definitely going to be a popular. It looks like everybody's landing on him in the Discord too, so.
Okay, well, that's great because I'm going to get scolded if he stinks, but that's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. Another cash lineup now. We got Rubio, Diallo, Dame, Derek Jones Jr., Tobias, OG, Dwight, and Jokic. That's definitely more of a tournament play.
I like that though.
Samir. Yeah, it's not a bad lineup, but I don't really like it for cash.
Yeah, no.
I think you got the wrong guys there.
It's almost 625, TJ.
Yeah, we're getting 1,000 questions. DeMar or Grant? I lean Grant. Bam or Vooch for cash? I lean Bam. Grant or Shai? I lean SGA. 6.2 util. I already have none still.
Yeah, he has that against. So no, I would go with none at this point, honestly.
No, he said he already has none.
Oh, he does. Oh, you're right.
So no, I was the cool one with 4% on. Okay.
I know you don't play big GPP, so I guess you could, yeah.
6,200.
That's not
$1,000 and go to Norman Powell.
Okay, yeah, but then yeah.
I know, I'm kidding. I think you go drive. I think
Nightly Chips update.
Chips.
FYI, guys. I mean, I know the puppy stole the show, but I still have 2 corgis. They're just loud and obnoxious.
Oh, he was sleeping? Can you give me him quick? All right, Matt, let's show him Chips, and then we'll
then we'll get off on that
Chips is gonna give the sign off. Oh my God, he came right over to me. Soft boy.
All right, everybody, be quiet so Chips can give us a sign off.
He's too heavy.
Here we go.
Oh, did I hurt you?
His face.
Did I hurt you?
Hold on, everybody, be quiet. TJ, be quiet. All right.
Chips, say it into the mic.
Yeah, nice. Good boy. Nice. All right, guys, let's cash.
Bye, guys.